Hello everyone, hope you are doing good. I know it's been a long time since I uploaded my new video and you guys might wondering where is he, why he's not making videos. So I wanna tell you this is my comeback and this time I'm gonna upload videos continuously, and this video is all about Form 80. How you can fill your Form 80 by yourself. Step by step guidance will be provided in this video. This is the Form 80 example I have already filled, and I'm gonna show you step by step how you can fill your Form 80 by yourself. Okay. First of all, here you have to write your family name, your surname, and your male, female gender, and your date of birth, and where you were born, suburb of birth, and city, which city you were born, and which state. Okay. Choose according to your situation and your country of birth. Do you ever use a Chinese commercial code number for your names shown in the passport? Do you have any Chinese commercial code number? I don't think so. So say no. Are you a Russian descent? Say no. In general, I don't think you guys are a Russian descent, so say no here. Or have you ever been known by other name? So if you have any other name like your surname and maybe you write a different spelling for your name, if you have that, then write here. Okay, write that name. Have you ever had a different date of birth? If you have a different date of birth, you're like, if you have two date of birth certificates, and then you can say here yes or else no. Do you currently have citizenship from any country? It means your home country. You are a citizen of your home country, so you have to say here yes. And how did you gain this citizenship? By birth. So do you hold a, or have you had citizenship from any other country? So if you have a dual citizenship, then say here yes and write the country name, and if you don't, then say no. Do you currently have permanent residency rights in any other country? Those declared in question 6 or 7. If you have declared here any other country name, then you have to name the countries, different countries. So if you haven't chosen yes, then say no, you haven't. Do you have any other current passport or travel document? So if you have any other passport, then say here no. So if you have any other passport, then choose yes. So if you don't have, then choose here no. Passport travel document details. So you have to fill your passport details here. Your passport number, your country and date of issue, date of expiry, your nationality and place of issue where your passport was issued. That place you have to write the name of that place. Your family name, same as question 1. As you can see, I have already wrote my surname here, so I have chosen yes, same as question 1, because my name is same in my passport and my other documents. So question number 11 is, have you ever had any previous passports or travel documents? So if you have any other passports, as I told you, choose here yes and write the details of that passport. And if that passport is missing, expired or stolen, then fill the details here also. Okay, choose according to your situation. In general, you have to say no if you don't have any other documents. In 13, do you have or remember any, if you were having a different passport and if you remember the details, then choose here yes and fill those details. Okay, and in general, if you have only single document, then choose here no. And your other documents, like write your driving license detail here, your national identity card details here. Okay, choose according to your documents. Question number 15, do you have an email address? So yeah, you have to write down your email address here currently which you are using. You have to note that email here. Do you have contact telephone number? So you have to write your mobile phone number so that embassy can contact you if they want. Your address history for the last 10 years. Okay, if you have mentioned different addresses in your visa application, so you have to write down all those address here, and from the starting date when you started, and if you are living currently, then write here current, then choose here current address. First column you have to write your current address. Okay, and for how much time you are living there. And in second and third column, your previous address, you were living in a different city lastly, then you have to write down that time period from the starting date and from the end date. Your address, here you have to write down your address and your country, in which country you have lived. Maybe it can be a foreign country, or maybe in your home country you have lived in a different cities. Okay, so you have to write down those addresses here. International travel moments, if you have traveled to any other country within 10 years, then you have to say here yes or else tick no if you haven't traveled anywhere for work, holiday, business, military deployment, or maybe visit back to your own country. You have to give your employment details, all paid employments, self-employments, family business, work experience, internship, unpaid employment, volunteer work, from date of birth up to until first employed, all gaps, breaks between employment, all gaps between education. Okay, so you have to write down all the gaps and all the time period which after your graduation. So when you were graduated, if you have started a job, then write down here that job detail from the start date and from that and date when you were completed. And if you are currently working there, then choose this column and write down those details. Company details, in the first column you have to write down the company details and type of business. If this business is manufacturing, automobile, and maybe communication and anything business, name that business and that employer details. Your occupation, what were your duties? Either you were process associate, or maybe a manager, or maybe associate and junior associate, or maybe an expert. Okay, and maybe you were an engineer there, so you have to write those details down here in this column. Okay, your duties and what were you doing there. You have to describe a bit, in a short paragraph like this: solving doubts of students who were studying in sophomore year of their bachelor's. It was just example. Okay, this man was working as a subject matter expert here, so his designation is written here. Okay, company location, full address of business or company. Okay, company location in this column, and country where this company is situated, where you were going to work. So you have to write these things here in this column. Okay, now let's move forward to the next column. Your education, 20th column is for education details. Give details of your old tertiary education qualification. In India, like secondary education and senior secondary education, and then bachelor's degree. Okay, so 10th, 12th, so you have to write down the start date when you started the classes, and end date when you have completed. Start date, end date, and your school name, your institution name, or maybe your university name. Okay, you have to write these things here, and your full name of course, which course you have studied there, and the status, either is it completed or withdrawn or maybe currently enrolled. So you have to choose these things here. He has chosen completed because he has completed his degree and his education. Okay, and the address of your school, university, or college you have to write in this column, and the country where this school or university is situated. Okay, it's very easy, so choose according to your scenario and your details. So proposed travel or further stay. So if you are currently in Australia, then choose here yes, then answer question number 25 according to that. Question number 21, proposed travel. Why are you traveling to Australia, including any relevant date or events. So if, as your visa is not already granted, so you have to choose here. 22 is why are you traveling to Australia, including any relevant state. So if you haven't, you are filing this form 80 because you haven't gotten your grant already. So you just have to write down these things, simple things, that you want to work there in your field and gain some experience in Australia. That's it. And you can't give dates because you don't know when your visa is going to be granted. So yeah, choose here no and write this thing here. Do you have any proposed or booked travel dates? You haven't, because if you have your visa, then you can book your tickets, right? So choose here no, you don't have. Keep this thing blank. Okay, I have filled this flight number and NA not applicable because you don't have a flight number, you don't have your visa. Okay, so that's why. Are you applying for a temporary visa? So if you are applying for a permanent visa, then choose here no. And if you are filing this form 80 temporary visa, then yeah, you have to choose here yes. And subclass 476 is a temporary visa. Okay, so you have to choose here yes. Flight number, again not applicable because you haven't booked your flight yet, because you didn't go to your visa. In next question, further stay, what is your main reason for remaining in Australia? It's not applicable. Again, list the town, cities you will visit during your further stay. You can tell the name of the city, but still not applicable. Give details of your arrival in Australia. Again, not applicable. Are you applying for a temporary visa? Yes, this is yes because, and still again I'm saying, if you are applying for a permanent residency visa, then choose here no. And if this is a if this is for 476 visa, then say here yes. Do you have any proposed or booked traveled for your departure from Australia? No, not applicable. Okay, answer these questions accordingly and then move forward. Are you currently in Australia? If you are onshore and you are in Australia, then choose here yes. And if you are not, then no. If you are offshore, then choose here no. Located outside Australia, do you know any details of a places? Hey, sorry to interrupt in middle of your video, but I have one request. you can see the statistics, how many people have subscribed my channel. So I want to tell you, if you want more videos like this, then you have to subscribe this channel, okay? Only then I'm gonna make videos and continue doing that, because this thing motivates new creators. I told you in many videos, proof, this is the statistics, okay? So subscribe and like the channel, and if you have any doubt, comment down below. You will stay during your time in Australia. Example, hotel, friends, relatives. If you have any relative in Australia and you want to mention that relative here, then choose here yes. And if you don't want to mention anything, then choose here no, okay? It's not mandatory, okay, to mention your contacts here. It's just a formality. Keep these things blank. Will you stay at any other addresses? Again, you don't have a address. Choose here no, and keep these things blank. Located in Australia. Do you have any other address in Australia? Again, no. Let's move forward to the next question. Australian visa history. Are you currently in Australia? Again, if you are onshore and if you are in Australia, then choose here yes. And if you are not, then no. If you are in Australia, then write the type of visa, reason of journey, name used on entry, place of visa issue, and arrival date. Okay, write these details. Have you been to Australia before? If you have visited Australia before, maybe on a tourist visa or maybe on a student visa, then write those details here. Okay, your visa details, your journey, name used on entry, place of visa issue, arrival date, and departure date. Okay, when you exited the country. So these questions is for character. Have you or any other person included in this application? Or so these things you can read if you want, but for the most of the question, if you are clean and if you are not a criminal and if you don't have a criminal record, then these questions have answered no. Okay, choose no directly. If you want to read, then take your time and read. I don't want to waste your time, that's why directly choose no to each and every questions. Okay, military service. Have you undertaken any military service? If you haven't, if you have taken any military service and training, volunteer, and if you want to include that in your application, then choose these yes. And if you don't wanna, then choose here no. Fill these details: start date, end date, and country of service and full unit, everything, your duties and your country of deployment. Employment by intelligence. If you have employed by the intelligence, then choose here yes or maybe no. If you got any refusal like Canada refusal, Australia refusal, and maybe from other country, if you got any refusal from any country, then choose here yes and give the refusal details and the reason of refusal. Okay, date and date of refusal and which subclass visa it was and what was the reason for that refusal. You have to choose here according to your situation. Deportation. Have you ever been deported from any other country? If you have been deported, then choose here yes. And if you haven't been deported, then choose here no. Citizenship refusal. Have you ever been refused, renounced, or rescind citizenship of any other country? If you have this situation, then choose here yes. If you don't have, then choose here no. Do you have a partner? So if you are married and if you have a spouse, then give the spouse details here. Relationship to you, family name, given name, any other name, date of birth, and everything. Okay, fill this detail. If you are married and if you have children, then write down your children name here. Okay, yes. Relationship, city, you have to write down here city name also, your city, place of birth, country, citizenship, and year granted. Okay, in year granted is by birth. Okay, citizenship your home country, and how you got this year granted is your date of birth. Okay, don't be confused in that thing. Here you have to write down your parents detail, your father mother detail here in these columns. Father, relationship to your father mother, name, given name, and any other name if they have any other name, and date of birth again, Chinese commercial code is not applicable. Are they migrating with you? You have to say here no, because they are not. This is a temporary visa and you can't take your parents on this visa. And town of birth, okay, state, in which state and country. You have to fill these details here. And after that, your brothers and sisters, you have to fill your siblings details in this column. If you have any siblings, then choose here yes. If you don't have, then directly no. Your brother, sister details, you have to fill those details here. Again, those simple things: name, date of birth, and town of birth, which state, country. That's it. Other traveling family member, if you have any other traveling family member, then choose here yes. And if you don't have, then no. Write down the same thing: relationship, town, birth, place, and everything. Do you have any personal contacts in Australia? If you have any personal contact in Australia and you want to include in your application, then you can choose here yes. And if you don't have any contacts, then directly choose here no. Do you have any other personal contacts in Australia? So in sponsoring employer details, are you being sponsored by or associated with or business or organization? You have to choose here no, because you are sponsoring your traveling and everything. Okay, nobody is sponsoring you, because if you are applying for a sponsored visa, then you can choose here yes. But here you are sponsoring yourself, so you have to choose here no. Does the employer business have any associated address? I told you, if you got any sponsored visa, then you have to choose here yes. And if you didn't, then choose here no. No in all these questions. Declaration, you have to upload your, you can print this form and then sign this here, your signature and your date, the date which you have submitted this form, you have to write that date here. That's it. If you wanna include any additional information here, you can write. You can describe your gap also in this particular part T. If you have any gap in your job profile, or maybe your degree time, or maybe in your education, then you can describe that gap here. Okay, this was the end of Format T. And if you like the video, please subscribe and turn on your bell icon. If you get any doubts, comments below. I'm gonna answer everything.